Business news from the Capital Region. This is Washington Business Report with ABC7 national correspondent Rebecca Cooper.
Thanks for joining us for a fresh look at business and finance in the Washington region. I'm Bruce DePoit, sitting in for Rebecca Cooper. Coming up on today's show, our small business spotlight focuses on managing up. It's about making sure your manager is happy with your work. And no, we're not talking about kissing up to your boss. It takes an expert to explain the difference, and thankfully we found her. Plus, the Sony hack. Could something similar happen where you work? Also, open for business. How long till we can open shop in Cuba? We'll find out during our roundtable discussion. But first, cybersecurity is front and center in the news this week. Our one-on-one interview today is with the head of a top local cybersecurity company. He reveals that cybercrime forces his employees to constantly stay one step ahead of the game. Telos CEO John Wood sat down with Rebecca to talk about the industry created because of hackers and criminals, and how giving back helps restore faith in our community.
John Wood, welcome to Washington Business Report. Your company keeps growing. Tell us what it is and what it does.
We're in the cybersecurity business. We do cyber operations and defense, so we defend networks all the way up to the very highest level of classification. We do secure communications, so all of the official message traffic by the military and the intelligence community uses a product of ours called the Automated Message Handling System. And we do identity. So we have the largest identity application in the government, which is the military ID card. Gets you access to all the military bases and all the computer networks around the world.
It was already a successful company when they recruited you from Wall Street, brought you in. When you became CEO, though, you blew it up and started from scratch. Why?
Well, when I was in college, I discovered how easy it was to break into networks. And I thought that security would be a good place for us to invest. And so we began to really restart the company. So I think of the company as a start over as opposed to a start up. And so that's what we did. We've been doing security since about 1995.
So that was, to say, the year, 1995, cybersecurity, well ahead of the curve. You do other things as well. How big is cybersecurity as a part of the company?
Huge. We have one network we've been defending since about 1996. It's gone from about 200 unauthorized access attempts per day to just under 11 million per day. So
per day?
Per day. So the issue of cyber is enormous in our realm.
But you still do so many other things. Why not focus exclusively on cybersecurity?
It's all kind of doing business around the most security conscious organizations that there are. So we offer them secure solutions in areas that we think that they'd be interested. If you're going to be interested in secure communications, you're also going to be interested in the defense of your networks. You're also going to be interested in the whole issue of identity and the insider threat issue associated with that.
But you came from Wall Street. You were at Dean Witter, then UBS. You had your own boutique investment firm. A lot of people on Wall Street would never invest in the government if it were a private company. You work closely with the government. What are the things that they may be doing better than Wall Street realizes and more efficiently? And what are the things where it still just makes you want to pull your hair out?
Well, the procurement process makes me want to pull my hair out, for sure. It's a very arcane approach to doing business because it's very slow. And as you know, technology moves very quickly. So that's the one thing I'd want to change is the procurement process. What's great about our customers, however, in the government is that they understand the whole notion of military-grade security. And so what's happening today globally is as commercial organizations are getting penetrated, they're coming to us asking more for military-grade security.
So the Pentagon is ahead of the curve in cybersecurity.
I think in some ways, absolutely.
So what are some of the lessons learned from being a start over? What do you have to do carefully and wisely to make it work?
I think the first and most important thing is to make sure you pick the right team. We've got a great team at the company.
People always say that. So get beyond pick a great team. What makes a great team for you?
Chemistry. Can I trust you? You know, can I leave the room and know that you're going to carry out for me and not do it in a different way? Are you going to tell me the truth versus tell me what I want to hear? And I think over the course of time, what's interesting about our company is that while we're a start over, if you think about it, since 1995, essentially a start over, the average duration with the company is about 9.5 years.
You also do a lot of philanthropic work. You're on the board at Wolf Trap, and you're chairman of the board at TAPS, and that's where we are today. Tell us about TAPS and why it means so much to you.
TAPS is all about giving people the journey about how you can move on from tragic loss. So when a military member dies while serving their country, TAPS is there to support the families. What is amazing about TAPS is they do it on such a little budget. The reason they're able to do it on such a little budget is because Bonnie has this, and TAPS has this amazing all-volunteer network of volunteers who have also lost a loved one who's died while serving their country. So it's one thing if I were to call you up and say, hey, I know what you're going through after your military members died. It's another thing altogether if I'm a dad who's lost his son and I'm calling another dad who's lost his son. And that's what makes TAPS really, really unique. One of the things that really got me sort of all in with TAPS was the Good Grief Camps. The Good Grief Camps is all about bringing families together and over a period of several days talking about their loss and talking to other peers about their loss.
It's really heartwarming to see from volunteers at every walk of life, too. There's wonderful pictures of these kids just falling all over General Dempsey. So grateful just to have someone there that they can show this affection to.
Well,
that must do a lot to warm your heart to see someone that high-ranking, then just having kids piling all over him, showing their love and affection.
Each of the chairmen of the Joint Chiefs has been so supportive of TAPS. But one of the things about General Dempsey that's so unusual is he sings. And he sings songs to these kids that they know. And I think he's just an amazing man. He and his wife, Deanie, are just incredible supporters, as has been the entire military, community, for real.
There are plenty of other charities involved with military work that may be more uplifting than doing this, and there's plenty of golf classics for charity causes. Why take on something so emotionally laden when you're still the peak of your career, you're still focused on building your company? Is it hard to do both?
No, I think it's really important. Some people call it a double bottom line kind of a thing. I think it's really important to get back into the community. When we talked earlier about the CEO cabinet, when we talked earlier about economic development in general, whether we talk about victims of tragic loss, whether we talk about education, those are really important things that ultimately build fabric into a community and also, frankly, builds value back into your company. When your employees see you doing things where you're doing good, not just doing things for greed, I think at the end of the day, it's one of the reasons why people stay with your organization. They feel like it's more of a family. They feel like you care, and we do care. Now, one of the things that I can tell you as well about TAPS is they had this amazing opportunity about 2 years ago. One of their people came to me, Diana Hosford came to me and said, hey, we have this opportunity to do something around the Capitals, around the Wizards. It was called the Courage Caps program. And it was a no-brainer financially for us because we put the money in to Monumental. Monumental bought all of the gear for the Courage Caps program. And so for every dollar we gave to Monumental, it generated $3 of return that went directly to TAPS. It's those kinds of return on investment that I think are hard to see these days, but it really leverages where your money goes, and so that's why it was a no-brainer for us to say, sure, we'll do that, and we've done it again this year.
John Wood, growing the economy in Loudoun County with more jobs and doing good at the same time. Thanks for joining us on Washington Business Report.
Thank you so much, Rebecca.